Alright, hello again everybody. This is Derek, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming and Miniature video. In today's video, we are going to continue on with our store news update. What we do with our store news updates is about every week or so, I try to let you know what's going on in my studio. I let you know what's going on with my eBay store. And I'll let you know like what projects and things that I'm working on and what I finished, what kind of supplies we've gotten in, what kind of product we got in, and any news that is pertinent. I have a lot to share with you today, but luckily I've written it all down and we should be able to read off this list. And in addition to this video that I'm making, I am going to be making another video right after this. That's going to be my O Group 15mm World War II update, my project update. So come check that out, and you'll see a lot of the stuff I'm talking about during this store news update as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what have I finished? Well, you know that I've finished a 15mm battalion for O Group, and I painted them up originally as a Luftwaffe field battalion, and I felt like I thought that the 91st Air Landing Division in Normandy was a Luftwaffe division, and it's actually not. It's just a regular Heer German division. They're just equipped lighter to be air transported. So they're like an air landing to be carried by airplanes to their destination or what have you. They're not actually a Luftwaffe division. So when I made this field battalion, I made it by mistake, basically. So what I did was I have just recently converted. So I repainted that battalion where necessary to be an actual German grenadier battalion. The troops, the number of figures, and all that is exactly the same when it comes to an infantry battalion, a German infantry battalion. And I was using grenadier figures anyway from Flames of War, Old Glory, Forged in Battle, and Plastic Soldier Company. So I decided just to go ahead and touch up the uniforms so that they are just grenadiers and not a field battalion. So those have been finished, and I'm going to show those off during my O Group update. I also made a couple of videos, one where I made plowed fields using a felt base, and I've discovered that I like the stiff felt 100% better than the flexible soft felt. So going forward, I'm going to be using the stiff felt exclusively. I also made some roads for 15mm Wargaming. I made them 2 inches wide with about a 5 to 10 millimeter grass border on the edge. So it leaves at least an inch and a half in the middle. It's perfect size for 15mm Wargaming tanks, but it also works perfect for my 40mm Napoleonic base widths. So it works with Flames of War bases. It's just a perfect size. So I'm going to be cranking out a bunch of 2-inch roads for both myself to make sure I have enough for my O Group Wargaming. But I think I'm going to create a bunch of extras to put up on the store. But right now, I haven't made any for the store yet. I have a tray of roads in a drawer somewhere. I need to pull them out and see if any of them are compatible with what I'm using, and if not, I'll put them up on eBay. So look forward in the next week or so, some new roads going up on eBay. either ones I've already worked on or maybe new ones I'm going to be working on. So that's what I've finished. Now, what I'm going to be working on, or what I'm currently working on, is I got my commission that I'm working on, and I've got the infantry portion of that commission, which is about 125 models. It's 5 battalions of 24 figures, and I've got them like I'm gonna say 75% finished. I've only got like 10 more colors that I need to put on them, and some of these colors are just here and there, so I should be able to get them knocked out in a day or two, I believe, at least painted. And then what I'll do is I'll base them up, and then I'll do a recording showing you the infantry. Plus, I'll be showing the my patron his figures, and then I'll start working on his cavalry and artillery. That's the next phase once I get these infantry finished. I'm also working on, or I'm waiting on, a Forged in Battle order that is en route. It should be here any day now, probably before the end of the week, I would hope. And the Forged in Battle, I'm gonna say something about Forged in Battle that I basically, I don't know how to say this, but Forged in Battle has very few sets, right? They've got a few tanks, they've got a few infantry from various periods. They've got a fairly good selection, don't get me wrong, they got a fairly good selection, but it's still not everything that you need. But it's a good, like if you wanted to fill, like what I needed to fill was a U.S. Airborne Infantry platoon, they had that. With the purchase of the platoon, plus the shipping, it came to 19 pounds, which in American dollars, it was like $25 US. That's the cost of the miniatures, which I think was 15 pounds, and then the shipping, which was like 4 pounds, and so a total of 19 pounds, which came to $25. Now, I'm thinking $25, okay, that's about what a Flames of War plastic. Now remember, Forged in Battle is metal, but a Flames of War plastic airborne platoon is like $27, and then with like $5 shipping. So it comes to like $32 to get a Flames of War plastic. And it's the resin soft plastic, right? Or the ABS soft plastic. And which Flames of War make very good models, don't get me wrong. So I'm not really concerned about the material that it's made out of or the quality of the detail, because I think they're very comparable. If not, they're as good as each other. But the Flames of War platoon only comes with like 30 models, so 30, I'm thinking 27 models, something like that. And the Forged in Battle comes with 40 models. Now, do they have everything you need? No. I think the Forged in Battle are just riflemen and submachine gunners. There might be some BARs, but I don't think I'll put it up on the list right there. But I think it's pretty much just riflemen. You know what I mean? It's just the standard squads. Where the Flames of War platoon, I think comes with some light machine guns uh, as well. So I'm not sure if one set has a better assortment of weapons or not. But I'm just basically counting coup, right? I'm just counting heads. And uh, 30 versus 40, and then $32 versus $25. I think the Forged in Battle is the way to go, unless you need some specific weapon systems. I already have a ton of uh, Flames of War Airborne. I got them from a couple of Hit the Beach sets. I also got them from Getting the Airborne Company. So I already have a ton of those, but I was going to need somewhere around to do a battalion of an O group plus the combat patrols. I needed around 129 models, something like that. And I only had like 100 models. So I could have easily have gone with a Flames of War box or this Forged in Battle bag. And I decided to go with the Forged in Battle bag. So when I get it in, I'll do a little what's in the bag video to show everybody what you're actually getting out of it. But I'm waiting on that before I can start painting my my models. Now, I've put a bunch of these together. I painted them and I got them ready for the Lafir Bridge battle. So I had like in battle group, I had like two platoons worth. So I had about 60, maybe no, yeah, maybe close to 60 models already painted and based for that, and which I've decided I need to rebase them. So I'm going to be breaking them all off of their bases, which I've been doing. I did with my Grenadiers, and now I'm going to be doing that with my Airborne. But I've kind of decided that I'm looking at the ones I painted, and I'm not really happy with them. I think I painted them a little bit too brown and not enough tan or khaki. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a paint swatch of all the colors I need, so that I'll have it sitting right here on my desk while I'm painting. But what that means is the new models that come in, or the ones that plastic ones I don't already have painted, are not going to match the original troopers. So what I think I'm going to do, and I hate to say this, but what I think I'm going to do is scrub them down, do the best I can at paint removal. I'm going to clean them the best I can, and then I'm just going to prime the entire set. I'm going to reprime them. I'm going to clean off, paint removal, the majority of these models. And I'm not going to scrub too hard, or I'm not going to use any like really serious paint remover, because I don't want it to damage the plastic or the resin, the soft plastic underneath. I'm just gonna use soap and water and a toothbrush and knock anything off that is willing to come off. If it's not willing to come off, then that just tells me that it's on there nice and solid. And so when I reprime them, I'll just be repriming over the paint that I've already got. I just have to do it in like a really thin coat. Okay, so I'm planning on doing these 129 models from scratch, right? Okay, from the jump. And I'm going to use a new paint, not new technique, but I'm going to use new paint colors to get to make sure I get them in the right area. Okay, but that's all going to be part of my O group update. I'm sorry I'm dwelling on that. All right, so, but I am waiting on those Forge and Battle before I start that project. Okay, so basically the airborne painting project is on hold until those come in. Okay, so that's what I'm working on. The commission, until those come in, then I'll be working on both of them simultaneously. Now let's talk about supplies that I got in just recently. I got in some popsicle sticks, but not these half-inch popsicle sticks. That's like not even a half inch. It's just under like 3/4 of an inch. It's under 20 millimeters. And then I also have these giant popsicle sticks here, which are like an inch. They're an inch wide. I use these mainly for painting models, but I wanted to get some really thin ones in. So these popsicle sticks they're not even popsicle sticks. They're more like craft sticks. They're more like, they are popsicle sticks, but they're the super thin ones. They're just over 10 millimeters wide, which is great for doing hedges, fencing, or walls in the 15 millimeter scale, right? So I can put like a little stone wall on there using whatever. And so I got these at 6 inches. Now I need to make some that are smaller than 6 inches. So I'll just have to cut a few of them, and so I can have some maybe some 3-inch ones and some 6-inch ones. Mostly 6, because 6 is a really good length for aligning to like roads and hedges and fields and all that stuff. So, okay, so I got those in. I also got in some felt. I got some new felt in, which is stiff and it's working really good on the roads and the fields. And I ordered some cork, and I've got I think four thicknesses of cork. I've got a 2 millimeter, a 3 millimeter, a 4 millimeter, and a 6 millimeter cork. And I realized the 6 millimeter is way too thick for what I want to. I wanted to make some stone walls, and 6 millimeter is just way too thick for 15 millimeter models. I think it would be great, if not perfect, for 28 millimeter models. So I might just take some of that cork and make a bunch of stone walls for sale, right? So look for that in the future. I got some 4 mil, and it's going to work perfect. And the 3 mil would work perfect as well. I mean, 3 and 4 millimeter actually works pretty good, but the 2 millimeter is way too thin. But it is perfect for making a foundation for a building. If I wanted to have like a stone appearance, a foundation for a building. If you watch my Roman town video where I created a Roman town and I cut these building foundations, and I glued the foundations down to the town. That way I could just take a building and sit it on top of these foundations, and then move them away if I ever needed to move troops through there or something like that. So that would work really well. And I am planning on making some built up areas for O Group. I but I think what I'm going to do is glue the buildings down to the bases. I don't think I'm going to make like a foundational piece, put a building on there, because I'm going to make these built up areas three-dimensional. I'm going to put trees on them. I'm going to put walls, fences, hedges, and buildings, and I'm just going to make like 30 of them, and but I might make less because you probably will never need more than a dozen at any time. But with a variety of different buildings and shapes, uh, it'll keep the built up areas fresh. Like one day I can have a church out there, another day I can have a gas station, so I'm just going to make a bunch of these and set them off to the side. Okay, so what else? Cork, new paint cans. Okay, so I got some off-white eggshell color spray cans. I wanted to get those for priming these buildings, right? The stucco or the white portions of these buildings. So I was just going to prime them the correct color, like eggshell, and then go in and paint any stones or woodwork that's on these buildings. So when I went to order these spray cans, I see that Rust-Oleum has a brand new dial of, so it has multiple nozzles, like it has a tight beam, a spray, a vertical. It has all these choices when I twist. So I haven't had a chance to use it yet, and I'm excited. And there's actually still in the box. So I'm waiting for my buildings to show up before I break those out and work on them. So I do have some buildings on the way, some new buildings from Battle Scale. I have 15 buildings coming from them. They have like this 7 building set. I got that, and then I added a few more buildings. And so when those come in, I'll show those off as well. So I also have another thing pending. I've got Boetta bases coming in. Boetta, and those should be here any day now as well. They're basically large Flames of War size bases with little diorama pieces on them, like walls or cobblestones or trees or whatever. So I'm going to turn those into my battalion command bases. So with war bases, I received dice holders. They're basically square pieces of wood that you can glue on anything, and a die will sit down on the inside of it. I got the one that was 12 millimeter. I probably should have got the 16 millimeter one, but that's okay. I have some 12 millimeter dice, and we'll be able to use those to represent our battalion commands. Okay, what other things do I have pending? Oh yeah, I've got a couple of Old Glory orders. One's coming in from Old Glory 15s. Another one is coming in from Old Glory 25s. The Old Glory 15s, I've got some American War of Independence, including the French. I have some Civil War models coming in, as well as a quality casting like M4 Easy 8, right? So we'll see what happens with those. And all those are going to be going up for sale on the store. I also have, with the Old Glory 25s, they actually retained the license to carry the 15 millimeter Command Decision models. So I ordered a couple of 15 millimeter Command Decision models. I think they're like Airborne Pack 75s. I think I ordered an Airborne Support Unit and Headquarters, which I don't need. I thought I might, but actually I don't need them, so they'll go up for sale. and then a 15 millimeter British 25 pounders, right? So for the artillery, for when I do the British. I got a Hobby Link order coming in. It was delayed through the mail, so I don't know what's going on with that. It was supposed to be here Friday or maybe Thursday, and basically it got moved around. So it just says it's on the way. It's just late. But in that order, I got some cobblestone paper, which I made some cobblestone roads in the past, but I put them on like a wooden board, and those become like super, well, it's wood, so it's like hard as a rock. And I prefer to make them, and plus it's thick, so I'm going to rework it. I'm going to rework some cobblestone. Plus, in that order, they're actually selling Wargames Atlantic skeleton chariots. So I went ahead and ordered a pack of skeleton chariots through them. So that'll be coming in as well. Supplies. Okay, I talked about the popsicle sticks, the felt, the cork, the new spray cans. But I also got my War Bases order in, which came with the 2 mil round bases, either 25 millimeter or 50 millimeter for the monsters, or my combat patrols. But I also got in some 30 millimeter square bases with rounded edges, just like all the other Flames of War bases. I got those in so that if I have a heavy weapon, like a medium machine gun or a heavy machine gun, and it needs to be, I want to put it on a 30 millimeter base so that, square, so that it will be more visibly apparent that it's not part of the infantry platoon. It's a support element. So I got some 30 millimeter squares. All right, so now some new product we got in. Well, I did get in some 25 millimeter armor. I got in a 251 half track. I think I got in a Firefly, a Sherman, Kubel wagons, Jeeps. I think that's it. Yeah, but I did. I got in some the 28 millimeter armor. So I'm going to put them off to the side. Not putting them up on the store just yet. I'm holding on to them because I plan to assemble them and paint them and put them on the store as painted items. I did get in some 15 millimeter product. I got the M4E2 jumbos. I think they're command decision, and then I got I got some supply trucks. They basically are trucks that have like boxes and barrels and stuff like that in the back. So they're basically supply trucks. I did get where I've had some 15 millimeter World War II buildings from Sarissa, more than I need, so I think I'm going to sell them. Well, I know I'm going to sell them. And I got a couple of, when I ordered my War Bases order, I ordered some 15 millimeter buildings because I wasn't sure if I was going to go with my built up areas, if they were going to be 15 millimeter built up areas, or if they were going to be my 10 millimeter built up areas. And I've decided to go with the 10 mil. So I'm just going to unload those 15 millimeter buildings. I also have some plastic sprues from Flames of War. I've got some Easy 8s, some M4 Easy 8s. I've got some T34s, and I've got some Pack 36 sprues going up for sale. Okay, so let me make sure I got everything. German Grenadiers, roads and fields. We'll be working on built-up areas as well. Doing a commission, waiting for my Forged in Battle. I have some battle scale buildings coming in for my built-up areas. I got some Buena bases coming in for the battalion headquarters. I got Old Glory, American War of Independence, and Civil War, and quality casting at M4E8. I have a couple of 15 millimeter command decisions coming in, but that's really all for my personal belongings. I got a Hobby Link order coming in, which will have the skeleton chariots and some more cobblestones, cobblestone roadways, really. I got some, that's all pending. And then I've got supplies. I did get some popsicle sticks in for making the walls and the hedges and the fences. I got some. Oh, in the Hobby Link order is also getting some fences in. So I'm gonna use those towards the building of the popsicle sticks. I've decided on my felt. I'm gonna stick with the stiff felt because it seems to be more compatible with my roads and fields. Um, I got new paint cans. I got cork in various scales, and got some square bases, as well as some round ones. But the square ones I was excited about. And then the product I got in is 28 millimeter armor, and trucks and jeeps and Kuba wagons. And then I've got some 15 millimeter jumbos and supply trucks. I got some buildings from Sarissa and war bases, and I got some sprues for some Easy 8s, T-34s, and Pack 36s, which is the 37 millimeter. But on the Pack 36 sprue, you could also make it into a Nebelwerfer. So, and then the news. Okay, last bit of information is we have a new sale started today, which is a buy more, save more sale on my eBay store. Buy more means if you order one item, there's no discount. If you order 2 items, you get 10% off of both items. If you order 3 items, you get 15% off of everything. And if you get 4 items, you get 20% off of everything. So it's 10, 15, and 20% off for 2, 3, and 4 items. So, yeah, take advantage of that. Plus, if you are not a subscriber or a follower on my eBay store, be sure to follow my X, or, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Follow me there because whenever I do have a sale, or if I have any figures that I just want to show off or something like that, I'll take a picture and I'll post it on my X, or I'll put a comment about a new sale that's happening or a new project that I might be starting, or anything like that. So follow me on X just so you can get those news updates. How often do I post on X? Maybe twice a month. Nothing super. It's not gonna fill your timeline, but it will be there. So check that out. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming out and checking out this store news update for Wargaming and Miniature, and I will catch you. Well, before I do that, hold on. Before I go, I wanted to say, if you're interested in a commission, be sure to drop me an email and I'll quote you a price. I'll send you a price sheet that tells you about all my prices. And thank you for coming out and checking this out. And I will see you in the next video.